Ba-da-da-da-do-do-do-do. Well, it's that time again. Kids, welcome to Who's to Blame, the podcast, episode 527. I'm your host, Dre Montez. Everybody doing today? Hope everything is going well for you. Good people, good people, good people. Don't forget to check out the website at www.dremontez.com today. Don't forget you can follow us on social media platforms out there. On Facebook, we have a page, Who's to Blame, as well as Instagram, Who's to Blame the podcast, Twitter at W2B Dre Montez, and YouTube, Dre Montez as well. But the best way is just go to the website and hit the applicable buttons. It'll take you right to where you need to be. We have high fives in the building, chest bump. Let's hug this thing on out. If you're celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday to you. If you're celebrating the anniversary, happy anniversary to you. If you're just feeling good about how everything is going for you, you appreciate the struggle, you understood the path of your progressions, and you're feeling very appreciative. There you go. There you go. You deserve it for sure. It is the first day of summer. Are you ready for the summer? Well, it's vacation time, kids, whether it's alone, which a lot of people are doing, with your new loved one, or a family road trip. Either way, I think it's right now the time to travel. Let's get it in. Let's get it in right now. It's beautiful out today. It's not that humid. The birds are chirping. Lots of hip hop music been played in the air. Who's to blame for that? And that's how we're going to start off today's show. We got a little who's to blame little moment here. Some things I heard in the past few days. Maybe it's something to dive into, but I don't know. I just want to see where this is going. I heard a young lady around the Juneteenth celebration, they were doing this big discussion about corporate America, how the corporate ladder is treating people of color, men and women. And apparently there's this thing out there right now called too ethnic. Can you be too ethnic? Do you think the mindset that you're in and where you work at, in your environment, in your job, and you knowing you, do you feel as though if you're a person of color, have you been labeled as being too ethnic? You have to dial it down a little bit with your hairstyle, your makeup, your dress, even the food you eat at work. Has that been deemed to you as too ethnic? But I saw that in a very interesting piece over the weekend, and I heard a little bit more about it on talk radio. That seems to be the thing right now. People are taking it upon themselves. They don't want to be labeled as being too ethnic, so they dial it down themselves. So if you heard about that, please let me know. I think in the end, there is a number out there, the price of it all. But when you get to that point, it's basically you basically seeing the sausage being made. Now you're saying if you vested in or not. And it gets to be a little bit interesting from that point. But when you get invested in something, whether it's business, lifestyle, career move, whatever it may be, it all has a price. And you have to have the mindset to see if you're ready for that. Who's to blame? Since COVID, this has been a huge discussion up there with mental health and mental health awareness. But are you comfortable and can you handle being alone? Being alone, can you handle you? And they have a lot of resources, a lot of tools out there to help people to understand the method, the technique, the tools you may or may not know about. They have everything out there. I know there's things on your app from that nature, but there are other tools out there that are available to you as well. And I'm going to do my best to try to share when I hear something that maybe can help someone that's going through something. Because a lot of people try to keep things to themselves. They don't want to be labeled. They don't want none of that going on with them. They just want to live their life and have a day and not be judged. And that can be hard and difficult at that time. But there are phone numbers out there that keep complete anonymity that you can have a discussion with someone. Because I think the big ordeal is no one to talk to when you're going through that struggle of being alone. It's not for everybody, but people that figure out how to handle it. So here's a place that can help you out if you find yourself struggling, getting through the moment, getting out of neutral and into drive. Palmero TMS. You can Google them, take you right there to them. they can check you out for sure. Got offices in St. Louis, in the county, the city, and I do believe he's about to open up one in Illinois. So please check them out. Can help you out for sure. And one other thing we're going to talk about today, when you go to these sporting events, who's to blame? You go to a basketball game, okay, a player lands in your lap, knocks over your drink, ha, 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 knock cheese on the player. That's funny. You go to a soccer game, we've seen people try to run off with the ball. You're not getting far. You throw it back on, ha, ha, ha. Football, we've seen some crazy thing, but my favorite thing at football games is why you looking at my woman, why you looking at my man, and they both wearing the same jersey, and they get into a fight, and it's all over YouTube. But the one in baseball has me baffled. I don't know if it's a tradition. I don't know who started this, but who's to blame? You catch a foul ball in your cup of beer. Are you chugging it? Are you chugging that beer? Are you chugging that beer that a foul ball lands in, considering everything we done learned about cleanliness, hygiene, and bacteria in the past 3 years? Are you drinking your beer after a foul ball goes in your beer live on TV? What are you going to do? There was a young lady that went viral a few years ago that did it, I believe at a Brewers game. She chugged it like a champ. I think what really helped her out even more, she was attractive. But I don't know about this. You got to figure out everything that goes on that baseball when it's in a pitcher's hand. You prepared for all that going in your beer. Now, everybody has a joke. Alcohol kills everything. That's beer. I don't know on that one. I don't know. All right, folks, going to get on into the show again. It's your boy. We got some things to talk about. We have, for one, Major League Baseball. There's something going on in Major League Baseball. Here on the home front, everybody's talking about the David Freese situation about turning down the Cardinals Hall of Fame. If you think about it from his form, I feel you. I feel what you're saying. You don't feel like you're worthy as that group considering what you've done. But I tell you what, if you're not in Lafayette High School, we're going to fix that. If you're not at St. Louis Community College, Merrimack, we're going to fix that. And we also going to give you a highway or a street named after you when you hit that ball and you put us in that situation to win the World Series. So I get the D Freeze situation. I feel both sides of it. Hey, if the man doesn't want to go, you got to respect his wishes. Who's to blame? The shift in baseball, what I'm talking about, the teams that are in position right now, if the playoffs would start today. If the playoffs started today, this is the shift in baseball, and I'm liking it. Having a bye would be Atlanta and the D-backs. In the wild card, it would be the Dodgers against the Reds. San Fran against Miami. In the American League, the Rays and the Rangers would get a bye. The wild card would be the Angels against the Twins. And the Yankees against Baltimore. Come on now. Come on. You know what's happening in baseball? Everybody's so keen on this pitching, pitching 7 innings, power hitting, all this. No. I think the thing is situational hitting. Situational hitting is key, and teams are learning how to bunt. And these kids that are coming up through the league, through the system, these young guns that nobody had their projectile value as being an additive to the team, an addition to the team, and help out option to the team to go in the starting role and give you 6+ innings each outing the past 8 times. Nobody expected that from these kids that are coming up, helping out these ball clubs. It's not hard pitching. It's a little bit more of Greg Maddux. It's understanding who you're facing, and where you're at in the game. Are you up, or down, at a 2-0 count in the 4th inning? They're breaking everything down to this purest form to give the younger ball players the ability and the understanding to go out here and manage the game and win the game if you listen to your coaches and pay attention to the game. That's not an easy thing, but baseball is really showing me that true light that they're understanding what's going on. We have the MLB Combine going on right now. This is a great thing I love about MLB. MLB, if they know you have that talent to make it to the show at age 14 to 16, and you're playing a lot of select ball and tourney ball, they're going to put the things in front of you, not just on the field, but off the field. The way they conducting these interviews, these kids are being looked at differently now. I think we've learned in the past not to ignore the signs of the young athlete. Now there's different types of clinics, there's seminars. They're getting these kids involved at 15 and 16 years old to let them know, hey, if anything goes wrong, not just on the field, off the field, all the traveling you do, we're here for you. We understand the level of commitment and the challenging age you're in to make a decision like this. So I love baseball for doing that. If you get a chance, check out the Major League Baseball Combine for sure. But I'm liking the shift in competition in Major League Baseball for sure. I like where their head's at, where their feet's at, how the people are feeling, how it's being judged. All of it is looking good and feeling good to me as a baseball fan. From that perspective, I like that. Now, after watching how these umpires been acting in baseball, on the field, in the moment, cool. But when the replay has been called and you're not even at the damn game, come on now. See, you overriding the committee. See, that's satellite umpiring to me. That's not fair to us. That's not fair to the game at all. What about the players? What if that's a situation to affect the playoff position? We've seen bad calls affect a no-hitter. We've seen bad calls before. In the split second, eye of the moment, that was the right call to make. To have it reviewed that was not called on the field, that was BS. I get it. You want to protect the catcher. Nobody wants to see a Buster Posey injury ever again. That's why the rule was implemented. But still, on the field, in the moment, don't take that away from the game, the players, or the fans. Who's to blame? Well, tomorrow, a lot of anticipation on the NBA draft. A lot of talk from who has been the bigger ordeal as the projected number one player in the past 20 years. They've been going that deep. Who's had the better teammates? LeBron or Kevin Garnett? Kevin Durant. Who's had the better player, better teammates? LeBron or Kevin Durant? I've heard that discussion. I've heard discussion of everybody being afraid of the number one pick possibly shattering his legs due to his build. We saw what happened last year to Chet. When you're that tall, with all the sports science out there, I think they got a hold on this now. They got a little better understanding of this than Sam Bowie. I understand the concerns and hype, but they got the right people on hand, The disaster that's happening with Zion Williamson, I give Major League Baseball credit. I give the NBA credit for attempting to give tools and resources for these young athletes if something is going wrong that you don't understand about the development of you or understanding the game, or even outside of it, being your own person. And right now, the NBA is like one of the front runners with the NHL, is letting the players be the identity of them and instead of the other way around. And I like that, admire them about that. And I like the way they're going to possibly do a different presentation of them showing the steps that they have taken so future athletes can understand the power that they have. It may not seem like a lot, but you have control of your athletic career. I think that's a good move because seeing that Zion Williamson story, the way it is developed, you could be from anywhere in the world and you get picked by a team you never heard of. You got to be weary and worried about where you land. And it's up to you to adapt to that community and vice versa. But they put the tools and resources in your hand to get that understanding. Now, if you're a homebody your whole life, that could be a problem. That could be a problem. If you're trying to be a part of the NBA community, it requires you going out into the community, not forced like in the 80s and 90s and 2000s, but a little bit more under your control. And I applaud the NBA for doing that for sure. There's another thing that the NBA is doing I want to talk about. These the focus groups that they have. Developing the talent, the young talent that the NBA is doing. not just in the G League, the NBA as well as Major League Baseball, but throw hockey in there as well. I think the NFL is the only fuckers far behind. Developing and understanding the young talent, understanding where these kids are coming from. Their whole lifestyle and world is about to change in a matter of seconds, days, months, or even a year. And they have to be prepared for that. And they have certain parameters in place that I think make sense. Because I think the league and the players and the fans, most of us, we're tired of seeing the breaking news going in a more positive direction. It's going into a light that, hold on now, why nobody saw this coming? There's a few NBA players, well, a few projected NBA players, that little yellow lights on their resume trying to make it to the NBA. But we're going to pay close attention to how they keep developing this talent. I'm really, really intrigued by the way each league has been doing it and showing proof on how it works. By the way they show proof, they go back to former players and talk to them and let you know how that helped them. Like the RBI League in Chicago, the second baseman for the White Sox, he came up in that league, in that situation. See, when you hear stories like that, it lets kids know that look like you or share a story like you. Damn it, I have a shot too. Who's to blame? All right, all right, all right. And up next, what I want to talk about here. Okay. Here's a little miscellaneous for you. The WNBA to me is not getting the love that it should get. But when it does get the love, the WNBA referees are the only referees I really do believe they feel like they don't get the respect they deserve. For one, in the NBA, some of those refs are kind of tall. In the WNBA, them women are skyscraping over those men. If I clap my hand, that should not be a tech. The WNBA referees gave out 10 technical fouls in the game. Explain that to me. Who's to blame for that? I'm talking ticky-tacky. No bitch, shut up. None of that. Just clap back. To the ref. Where's my foul? You didn't see that call? The men do it every 5 seconds. But a woman claps her hand. Come on, WNBA refs. You can do better. I know you can. I believe in you. I believe in you. I really do. I try to believe in you, WNBA refs, but sometimes it's really, really hard to do. I'm trying to give you a fair chance. I'm trying to give all referees and officials and umpires a fair chance. But the video is the dead giveaway. I want to see spokesmen speak out more for these leagues. There should have been a press conference today to break down and explain who hit the button to hit replay in that baseball game and get the crew chief on there from the game last night, get his rebuttal. The person who hit the button to hit replay, let's look at that again. Bring that back. Freeze that. Pause that. Get that person there. And get Rob Manfred in there. And let's figure this shit out. You know, it's like when you were a kid on this way back wins. You crying. Who did it? You know, all y'all get in here. Everybody get their ass whooped. But I didn't do nothing. Well, you were part of it. Who's to blame? You were part of it. I think when I heard this, I had to think about it. Act like a lady, think like a man. Ever since that came out, that phrase, that verbiage, act like a lady, think like a man. Ever since that came out from the book, the play, the movie, things have been wrong. We gotta do something. I mean, I feel like I'm a counselor to things I shouldn't be a counselor in. And I think you should see the bigger picture. Although they say the best vision is from the outside rather than looking inside. It's the outside looking at the picture. And I get that. People want to go to a third party when there's something going wrong. But if you started the party, you should know how to end it. Hello? Talk to me now. You should know how to end it. But a lot of people get caught up and forget who they are. They forget who they become. For what reason? We don't know. To what degree? We don't know. But I think if we do this one thing here, we can all have a great day, a better day, and understand everything that's at hand that comes our way. If we focus on what we have. If we focus on what we have, I think it all come together then. It all will come together when you just focus on that. Don't worry about them, they, those. No, us, none of that. Focus on what you have. Keep it real simplistic. Every story you've seen about a come up or a start over, they always tell you how they did it. Well, I had to start real small. That's how you can start. You got to start real small to understand and appreciate the value of what you're trying to do. And once that happens, everything's is all better than, huh? Everything is all better than, eh? Huh? If you don't believe me, just watch it and see. Okay. Christian Ronaldo. He went to MLS soccer, right? Tickets used to be $20. Just because he joined a team, to see him play in Miami for that first game, $1,000. Who's to blame? Who's to blame? And I also found out today, after years and decades of living on this earth, I didn't know what this was called. My toes cross on my foots. Never knew what that condition was called until I watched MLB Network this morning, and they were talking about it because a pitcher that could be drafted out of Grand Canyon University has the same thing. It's called a velo toe. When all your other toes are straight, but that toe crosses over on top, boom, I found that out. Thank you, MLB Network. Trey Montez has velo toe. There you go, right there. Well, good folks, good people. I'd like to thank you for tuning in to today's podcast episode of Who's to Blame, episode 527. You can always listen to it wherever you listen to your favorite podcast app, but just in case, you know where to go. Thanks again for tuning into the show, great people. Until next time, I holla. And you know it, man. And you know how to do this, man. All right, good people. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a word from our sponsor, then we're going to get out of here. You guys enjoy the rest of your Wednesday.
Mountain Man as smooth as a river flows. MountainManScrub.com. Get your scrub on.
All right, good people. Until next time, we're out. And thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in.